wabarakatuh. My name is Sisca Winda Arista. I'm from 6th semester. Okay, in here I will tell you about a little bit my novel that I have read last week. The title is Epilogue by Enjoy. You can read this novel from online website on royalboat.com. Okay, the characters in here is Matthew, Black, Jennifer, Matthew mothers, Sarah's father, Sarah, Carl's father, Adela, and etc. There are many characters in this story, but Matthew is intelligent, thinker, strong, and Black is strong and he's a best friend of Matt. And then a Carl is very strong, he's wise, and then he can keep secrets well. And then Mrs. Matt is Matthew mothers, and then Jennifer is Matthew's sisters, and then Kyle is Carl's best friend, and then Carl's father is very I think not right, yeah. Okay, Adela is Black sister. And then the time is October, last night, 7 years ago, next day, in the morning, and Thursday, in the night, last night, and etc. And then the place is Sirafo, a kingdom, home, school, yard, forest, and police office, and etc. And then besides, Carl began to confess his feelings to Jen again. If he loved Jen, then Jen, who has special skills, find a magic stone in the forest and can bring them back to Sirafo kingdom, but only gets 3 people. That night, Jen wrote a confession letter for her mother, so that when Jen and Matt left, her mother would know the true situation. And then Jen and Matt head to the police station to see Carl, but they can't help him for fear of being mistaken for crazy and being put into a mental hospital. And finally, Matt, Jen, and Sarah go to the woods, to the rock that she leads them to Sirafo. The police follow them, but when they saw them, they were missing. They did not know where. Okay, next is a plot of this novel. The plot is suddenly Matt woke up in the middle of the night in a room, in a dark room, and that was familiar to him, and he has been in time zone 7 years ago. Not only Matt, Jen, Carl were also there at the same time. They are trapped in the past because of being magic by Sirafo kingdom. The next day, Matt, Jen, and Carl meet at the school and discuss about why they could be in the past, which resulted in them pretending to be normal humans like other people, so they would not be mistaken for crazy people. And then they meet Sarah, who Matt has liked or love since he was in the Sirafo kingdom. And Sarah is a Jen's best friend in school. Since their second day in the humans world, Carl began to question the report of Black, who was not seen at all, even at the school. Carl accuses Matt of causing Black death, and he's angry with Matt until the fight, but is spared by Jen. Matt could not explain why Black could not be with them because Black won't dead. Okay, let's move on to the synopsis of this novel. And this synopsis is Matt was in the room 7 years ago. Matt wakes up there at a 7 years younger high school student. Then he left the room and meet Jen and her mother. And on the other, Carl is also confused because there is a weak body different from a Carl body and condition last time, and tries to call Matt and Jen. and he make an appointment at a school. And then in the morning, Jen woke her mother and said that she will go to the school. And at the school, Jen meets Kyle, who returns the book. Jen felt confused because she could not use Etholin, but had to use English language. And then at school, they felt sad because on the first day at the school, they did not see Black because Black was died. And after school, Carl headed to Blake's house. When he entered the house, he only met Adela. Adela, she's Black's sister, and on the other, Jen and her mother eat Matt's cupcakes because Matt have a hobby, makes a cake. Then Carl comes to see Jen and giving her an arrow. And there was an incident while at school. Someone accidentally hit Jen, and suddenly Carl took out a knife and points the knife at the person who hit Jen. And it turned out that is his action happened because Carl loved Jen, and this was said by Carl in the forest when he followed Jen. In a short story, Jen finds a stone that can bring them back to the Xerophil kingdom. This is known because Jen has a special ability to see the future and past. And after that, Jen went to Sarah's house, Jen's best friend, and told her all the truth of condition. And right from the Black's time, the police start coming to the Carl because Carl was Black's best friend, and on the other, Carl was arrested for mistreating White. And in the end, Sarah, who was invited by Matt and Jen to the stone in the forest to return to the Xerophil. And then the police did not find them because the police following them. Yeah. Okay, the last part is moral value. The moral value from this novel. For me, we must be able to make the best use of lifetime because no one will know how our future life will be. And I think this novel is quite interesting because the characters is inspired through the character behavior or deeds. And this novel tells how strong and intelligent humans are in manipulating circumstances, so that it will be very interesting if you read this novel. But this novel little confusing at the beginning of the chapter, and you should really pay attention to the storyline. This novel very interesting, so you must read this novel now. Okay, I think it's enough for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.